family, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Everybody in the neighborhood, it's Thursday, July 3rd, and everybody in the neighborhood is cutting their grass right now, so I'm trying to find a quiet space outside. I just want to talk to you all briefly about a lot of things that are in social media and something that's relevant to the times that we're living in right now. There are a lot of job losses or a lot of layoffs, and just the economy is not doing so great right now. And of course, you'll tune in, you'll see a lot of advice about saving money, how to prepare for hard times and things like that. And I've even done a couple. But nothing can really prepare you for the true harsh reality of when you do lose your job. It's just, unfortunate. And, I'm sorry, if you're watching this and you're in that situation. But with all that said, I really want to talk to people who are, if you're especially head of your household, or if you're a single parent or single mom or dad or something like that, and your family relies solely on your income to keep the family afloat and, to keep your cost of living going. Y'all, sometimes, and I know this is hard to hear and it's hard for me to say, but sometimes we're going to have to just kind of do what we got to do, y'all. We're going to have to take jobs we don't want to take. And especially when an unemployment check runs out, right? I've been unemployed before as a military spouse. And I know, that you can collect unemployment if you've been let go of your job or, you got laid off or, what have you, depending on the situation. You can collect unemployment, and I do believe it's 6 months. For 6 months, it's not a lot of money, but it's something. And you can use that in conjunction, with your savings or, whatever else you have going on. But once that savings run out, and once that unemployment check runs out, desperate, what does it say? Desperate times call for desperate measures. So basically, we're going to have to, find whatever you can. That includes gig work. I'm not sure how many of you are a fan of that. The Grubhub and Instacart and all that kind of stuff. We're going to have to look into that. You're going to have to look at, basically just working anywhere, picking up odd jobs, Walmart. I want to say Kmart. That goes way back in the day, right? Not Kmart, but Walmart, Target. And I know a lot of these places are probably hiring. It's not full-time work. Of course, you don't get benefits. It's part-time. Your fast food joints, your McDonald's, your pizza joints, even your grocery stores. A lot of these places that we go to on a daily basis, y'all, we're gonna have to just go in and ask if they're hiring or pick up an application or apply online or however they do it right now. It may not be your dream job or it may not be something that you want to do, but it's going to have to be something that you're going to have to do for the time being, to keep yourself afloat. So, rather than, sit at home and, woe is me type of thing, we're going to have to just get up and go for it and go for these jobs that we don't like. I know you hear a lot of us get on here and talk about, the jobs that we hate our jobs. And sometimes some of those jobs are, a lot of us, we have decent paying jobs and we don't like going to them. I mean, nobody really wants to work, right? Nowadays, we all want that fast money. We want it quick and we want to make a lot of it. But that's just not reality for a lot of us. And this is just not going to happen. So we're going to have to get those low paying jobs, barely making minimum wage jobs, delivery jobs, or what have you, just so that we can make ends meet. And I mean, that's just a harsh reality. And I mean, I know a lot of us know that, we know that already, but it's kind of hard to swallow that pride and just go ahead and, do what we got to do. And I'm not sure if, anyone's had that talk with you. But someone who's, coming from someone who's lived life for a little bit, 50 plus years, I've kind of been in every situation imaginable. And I'm telling you, you're going to have to work. I've done it. You're going to have to work jobs that you really, really don't like and that you really don't want to. But it's not something that's permanent. You just look at it as a temporary stepping stone to something to get you where you want to be. Now, you'll hear a lot of people get on here and talk about, oh, become a YouTube, a content creator, get on social media and, just talk about your life, tell stories. Yeah, that's all fine and good, but you're not going to make money quickly doing that, and you're not going to make a lot of it. A lot of the people who are successful and make a lot of money doing this, being on social media, y'all, they've been at it for like 5+ years, and I've done several videos and I've talked about that before. They've been on here a while, and a lot of them, they're still not where they want to be. They may get thousands of views, but they're still not making a lot of money. So I mean, you can get on here, but kind of look at it as a hobby. You're not going to make a lot of money at first. So that advice is really not that great. I mean, unless you already got a following somewhere on maybe another platform and you bring those folks over to here, that might work out for you. But 9 times out of 10, that's not going to pay your bills. So I just wanted to let you all know that advice is kind of not good for most of us. And, we can, get on here and look at all these videos about, how to save money, how to build wealth. Yeah, that's all fine and great, if you are at a point in your life. And I want to say older people, and a lot of the older people are at a point in their life where they can afford to do that. But if you're not at a point where you can afford to do that, you need money now. So that's why I say, you've got to work these jobs and you got to just do whatever you can just to make ends meet. And again, it's a temporary situation. That's not going to be your permanent situation. That's not going to define who you are, because a lot of people are caught up in, their jobs and titles and, what do you do? And, for conversation, like you're in a social situation and you want to brag about what you do, just don't talk about it. Ooh, there's bugs out here. I mean, just don't talk about it. And, don't worry about it. A job does not define you no matter what you do. Okay. So swallow that pride. Let's put our big girl and big boys underwear on and, just go out there and do what you got to do. Go to McDonald's, Burger King, wherever, whatever, deliver pizza. It's like I said, it's not, the job does not define you. You define the job, and you do what you have to do to feed your family, to pay your bills, and keep yourself off the street. And that's just the bottom line, y'all. And that's all I got to say on this video. So I hope you guys found value in this. Please like and subscribe and drop me a comment. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.